Greetings, Dragon Warriors! This is Matt Harpatrick. Well, another year came and went, and we saw some amazing original anime stuff in 2024, like The Imaginaries, Hazbin Hotel, The Wild Robot, and Iwaju, some worthy sequels like Inside Out 2 and Sonic the Hedgehog 3. We got reunited with some old friends like Paper Mario, X-Men 97, and Epic Mickey Rebrush, and there were even some that even exceeded our expectations, like The Fairly Odd Parents of New Witch and Dream Productions. But of course, we still had some really bad anime stuff last year, like a soulless Megamind TV show, and some garbage movies like Spellbound and the Saint Cheeks movie. Overall, we saw some amazing anime achievements and mistakes in 2024, and it's very likely we're going to see more of that next year. Which ones will rise and fall? We'll find out later. But first, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. I'm here to share my initial thoughts on the upcoming anime films of 2025. Once again, I'm not going to see all of them. They may not reflect in theaters or streaming in 2025. I'm just going to share my initial thoughts based on the trailers and news given to me at this time. But first, here are a few honorable, unannounced, and unofficial animated hybrid movies. Gabby's Dollhouse the movie. I never watched the TV show, so it's unlikely I'm going to check this one out. In Your Dreams. We don't have an official update about this Netflix movie yet, so I'm not 100% sure if it's coming out this year or the following years. Plankton the movie. After my experience on the Saint Cheeks movie, I'm not sure about this. I'm just so tired of these SpongeBob spin-offs. K-pop Demon Hunters. Sounds like an action-packed Gem the Holograms movie, and is possibly the coolest name to a Sony animation movie. The live-action How to Train Your Dragon movie. Nope, not another live-action cartoon movie. No more, please. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. The Twits. It's time to see Netflix animation on how they adapt the Roald Dahl books. Now that I discussed the honorable mentions, here are the 10 upcoming anime 2025 films I would like to talk about. Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. Well, it's about time we see Wallace's latest invention. Yes, I know this movie came out last year in a few countries, but now it's going to be released worldwide on Netflix, and I've been hearing some wonderful things about it, like a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I haven't seen something like that since the Paddington movies. Now, by the time I'm making this video, I haven't seen the movie yet, but don't worry, I will, and it's very likely that I will have a wonderful time with this one. Seeing how this is actually a standalone follow-up to one of the Wallace and Gromit shorts, The Wrong Trousers, instead of The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. In this movie, Feathers McGraw, the evil penguin from the short, wants revenge on Wallace and Gromit for putting him in jail and ruining his master plan on stealing the diamond, so he plots to either make their lives miserable or plots to kill them. I definitely love that out of all the Wallace and Gromit side characters that they decide to bring back, it has to be the penguin, and he already proved himself as an evil stop-motion villain. As it is a Wallace and Gromit movie, we should expect some extraordinary inventions from Wallace and Gromit, and I especially love that they added a walking lawn gnome as one of their latest inventions, like their own personal security guard for their entire house. The animation still looks fresh like Armin's other work, so I'm definitely going to check this one out as soon as I'm done with this vlog. Dogman. This one looks like fun. In case you don't know, Dogman is actually based on a children's book by the same name by Dave Pikely, the same author who did the Captain Underpants book. And weirdly enough, DreamWorks has already made a Captain Underpants movie, so I guess it makes sense why they wanted to make a Dogman movie. But before you can ask, I never actually read any of the Dogman books, I only read some of the Captain Underpants books. But don't worry, this movie is supposed to be an adaptation of the first installment. It's supposed to explain the origins of Dogman and how he became a hero. And from what I can gather through the trailer, there was an accident between the policeman and the dog who was his trusted ally. But during the operation, they decided to stick a dog's head to the policeman's body. Thus, Dogman was born. But there's a catch. Since he's part dog, he behaves like a dog, like playing fetch, can't resist a squeaky toy, and other stuff. But just like the Captain Underpants movie, I can tell it's capturing the spirit of the illustrations from the books, making the characters 2D in a 3D environment, and capturing the same style as the Peanuts movie with all the dialogue lines and sound effects. And already, the first trailer actually welcomed me as a newcomer. There were some funny jokes I got from this, like when the policeman was throwing the paper ball and the Dogman tried to play fetch with him, even though he doesn't want him to do that. He wants him to act like a cop. And of course, they are planning to explore the other characters from the book, like the evil cat villain and this little kitty that's going to be Dogman's sidekick. So I'm definitely curious on how this movie gonna turn out. The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Finally! We got a full animated Looney Tunes movie coming to the big screen! So last year, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about this animated Looney Tunes movie, and at first, I thought Warner Brothers wasn't actually going to do it. I thought they were going to make another horrible mistake like they did with the Coyote vs. Acme movie. Sure, there were a few private screenings here and there, but was it really going to be available to everyone in the entire world? Well, the truth is, it is! It's actually going to be released worldwide thanks to Ketchup Entertainment. And I am so glad and relieved that this movie is safe from being deleted, and I'm definitely going to check this movie out. So, for this upcoming movie, it's going to pay homage to one of those cheesy science fiction movies from the 80s, where Porky and Daffy must save the world from an evil alien overlord that's going to control people's minds using a gum monster. As it is a Looney Tunes movie, this one's going to be 100% hand-drawn and 2D, and it does look amazing, and it even got some laughs from the trailers. There was a funny joke involving the gum monster kissing Daffy, and there was some good tributes to the Looney Tunes George, like this shadow person in the background. And what's even shocking about this upcoming movie is that there's only 3 Looney Tunes characters that are going to serve as the main characters: Daffy, Porky, and Petunia. Maybe there's going to be a cameo of Bugs Bunny at the end of the movie, but we're not going to see some of the other characters coexisting, like Marvin, Sylvester and Tweety, Foghorn, Elmer, and so on. So, I'm not sure how they're going to manage that. Then again, I have been hearing some positive word of mouth on this, like Wallace and Gromit, so it's likely things will turn out okay with this movie in the end. And I'm still going to check this one out. Elio. Pixar's not done with originals, and I choose this over the live-action Dragons movie. I'm not kidding, they're sharing the same date this summer. It's going to be about this boy named Elio who wants to make friends with aliens from outer space, but when he gets contact with them and gets abducted, they confuse him as the Earth's ambassador, or the leader of Earth. So of course, he's going to lie that he's the Earth's leader, because if he tells them the truth, they will erase his memory or dispose him. So yeah, the lie reveal cliche was keeping this movie away from being a 10 out of 10 movie. We've seen this stuff before in something like A Bug's Life. This cliche has been done to death. However, it is still a Pixar movie, and the animation still looks amazing, whether it be the humans, and especially the designs of the aliens. And there may still be some hope for this movie, because it's going to be directed by Domee Shi, the same director who did Turning Red, the Oscar-nominated Pixar movie in 2022. And it was a pretty good movie. We all know Turning Red serves as a metaphor about growing up, so maybe there'll be some sort of hint meant metaphorically involving the relationship between Elio and the aliens. Maybe we'll learn why Elio wants to make friends with aliens. What's his life like on Earth? And is there still hope for Elio that he can make friends either on Earth or outer space? As long as this movie focuses on the heart and the message that it's trying to convey, it should be able to surpass the lie reveal cliche. So we'll see how this Elio movie turns out. The Smurfs movie. Didn't we already did a Smurfs movie? Like 3 times? Which ones are you talking about? Oh, this is gonna be a new animated Smurfs movie. Okay, before I talk about this upcoming Smurfs movie, it only makes sense to share my thoughts on the other Smurfs movies. The live-action ones, I didn't like them. They were bad. There was no point on bringing the Smurfs to the real world. The real world is boring, especially in New York. Smurfs: The Lost Village, it was I still like it better than the live-action Smurfs movies, thanks to the animation. And I like that Smurfette has given more depth, and I still like the idea that they introduced the other Smurf girls other than herself. But it was easily forgettable. Now, there are 2 major differences between this upcoming movie and the past Smurfs movies. One, it's going to be distributed by Paramount Pictures. Apparently Nickelodeon have been making some Smurf cartoons lately, and they kind of serve as a tie-in to the Lost Village movie, seeing how the Smurf girls are now a part of the Smurf universe. And before you ask, no, I never seen a single episode of the Smurf show. I didn't even know it existed. And the second major difference is, it's going to be a musical. Now, to the upcoming movie's credit, it's actually not a bad idea on turning the Smurfs into a musical. They definitely love to sing their la-las like it's the national anthem to their Smurfs village. However, as nice as it is to have a Smurfs movie, I'm still not sure about this, honestly. I feel like everyone's pretty much done with Smurf movies. Now, by the time of making this video, we still don't know what the plot of this upcoming movie is going to be. All that we know is that Rihanna's going to voice Smurfette, and that's it. and there's gonna be some other celebrities like James Corden and stuff. But if they really want to go all in on the Smurfs movie, I have 2 recommendations on what they should do to help this movie. 1. No modern pop songs. And 2. No jukebox musicals. Don't turn the Smurfs movie into a Trolls movie. Let this fancy musical sing like a fancy musical. But for now, I still need some more updates about this upcoming movie to confirm if it's going to be good or a piece of Smurf in the end. The Bad Guys 2. Oh yeah, bring it on, Mr. Wolf! Now, seeing how The Bad Guys is based on a book series like The Wild Robot, it obviously had a ton of book sequels, and the books have sequels, so should the movie. In this follow-up, it takes place 5 years after the events from the first movie, where the bad guys have officially become good, but of course, nobody believes them. They actually think there's still a little bit of badness inside of them somewhere. So they're having a hard time adjusting to their newfound life as good guys, but all of a sudden, they get captured by the bad girls, and they force them to pull one impossible heist involving Rocket. So of course, the good guys will have to temporarily become bad guys again, while they try to figure out a way to right a wrong. I do like in this upcoming sequel, we're actually introduced to more animal characters, which I just realized every animal character that appears in these bad guy movies, they did something bad at one point in their life. And I do get why the people are not yet ready to accept the bad guys as good guys yet. They haven't forgotten the past. There was one funny joke where Mr. Wolf wants to work at a bank, but it's actually the same bank that he actually robbed in the past 3 times. And best of all, involving the bad girls, the bad guys don't actually lie to them that they're still bad guys. They already admit to themselves that they are good, they're not doing this stuff anymore. But of course, the bad girls want them to do it anyway, because if they don't do as they're told, it's dead meat for them. That is so much better than having a lie reveal cliche. This is the direction that the Megamind vs. Doom Syndicate should have gone with. Even the animation and the action scenes presented in the trailer does look a lot of fun, hinting at what sort of epicness is going to happen in the upcoming sequel. And there's still some huge laugh in this, like they compare Mr. Piranha to a mango, and when Mr. Snake goes on a date with his girlfriend, you can't tell if he's actually kissing her or eating her alive. So, it might sound crazy, I think the upcoming Bad Guys 2 movie might be able to surpass the first movie. Epic action scenes, great comedy, wonderful animation, this upcoming sequel is gonna feel good. Puku. Oh boy, another Skydance Animation movie. Woohoo! I know Skydance Animation is still the newest studio on the block, but the last 2 movies I saw for them, they were really bad. Luck was forgettable, and Spellbound was even worse. Even people who actually saw these movies didn't like them that much. They didn't even gain a cult following or anything like that. So what's this upcoming movie going to be about? Well, it's about this woodland creature, which I guess is going to be named after the title of the movie, and a majestic bird that happens to be sworn enemies to the valley. But some magical mumbo-jumbo causes them to trade places, so apparently it's going to be some magical hijinks ensue involving this movie. A cute idea, and I will admit the concept art that I found does look pretty good and better than Spellbound's animation, but I've seen this scenario before. It's the Freaky Friday style formula. We've seen this storyline before in dozens of times where 2 people decide to switch places for the day, where they learn that being someone or something else is really hard and they should be happy with the life they're living. But that's not the only reason why this is going to be my least anticipated movie in 2025 or so. The real reason is 2 words. Executive meddling. If you've done some research on Wikipedia and the Internet Movie Database, Skydance Animation has a long history of changing movie stories. It happened to Luck, where it was originally going to be a battle between good luck and bad luck, but that is not the case. It's just a fetch quest on finding a lucky penny where someone has to learn good and bad luck is equally important. And in their other movie, Spellbound, it was originally going to be about the kingdom of Lumbria being split into 2 kingdoms, and the main character, Elian, was supposed to unite them and glue them together, which actually could help the allegory involving the parents' divorce. But of course, none of those story elements actually happened in the final project, because some big-time executive told the directors, no, you can't do that, we want you to change this or do that because we're a billionaire, we're richer than you. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually changed the movie for the worse like they did with the other movies. It just can't be a coincidence based on my past experience with Spellbound and Luck, because I didn't feel like I was watching a director's movie, I was watching an executive movie. They had 100% control of the movie, while the director had little to no creative freedom to anything. And if this upcoming movie plots to steal any stuff from Disney, it's gonna be a major flag to not just the movie, but Skydance Animation. So Puku, be sure to find your own voice and not someone else's. Wildwood. Ooh, this one's intriguing. I love me some dark stop-motion movies. Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline, Corpse Bride, you name it, and I love it. And for this upcoming movie, it's actually based on a dark fantasy book. It's about a girl named Prue who has to rescue her baby brother from some crows, led by a mysterious woman named Alexandra. In order to find the baby brother, she has to go through this magical forest. So imagine a film like Jim Henson's Labyrinth and the Over the Garden Wall miniseries. But in all seriousness, the book was actually inspired by some of the past fantasy movies we had in the past, like Chronicles of Narnia, The Wizard of Oz, and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. And do you know what's best for having a dark stop-motion movie like this? It's going to be made by Laika Studios, the same studio that brought us Coraline, and best of all, it's from the same director that gave us Kubo and the Two Strings, Travis Knight. Oh yeah, now we're cooking. I definitely see this as an upcoming Halloween movie. So will this upcoming movie be able to be dark and surreal like Coraline? Well, let's just wait and see. Zootopia 2. Yes, I'll take it, I'm definitely gonna see this. We need this more than ever. Actually, the funny thing about Zootopia 2, out of all the Disney sequels that people actually want to see, Zootopia is actually at the top of everyone's list, like Inside Out. And there is a legitimate reason why everybody loves Zootopia more than ever. At first, it was going to be a cute little Disney movie starring talking animals. When you actually saw the movie, it was actually really deep, heavy, and had a lot of guts to talk about a really powerful message, battling against prejudice and discrimination. Here's a recap. Zootopia is about animals being civilized, and the mammals, prey, and predators are living in peace and harmony. But of course, there's some cracks involving their relationship. Judy, for instance, wants to be a cop. But of course, everybody says she shouldn't be a cop. She should attend a kindergarten. When she enters the police force, she still gets overshadowed by the big mammals who still see her as a cute little innocent bunny and should stay in the gardens. But with determination and bravery and receiving some help from a fox named Nick Wilde, Judy proves that she's more than just a cute little bunny. And thanks to Judy and Nick, Zootopia has grown to be more united and inclusive than ever, where the prey and predatory mammals are learning to like each other and becoming good friends. Because of the message of battling against prejudice and discrimination, Zootopia is not only one of the best Disney movies, but one of the best anime movies in the 2010 decade. It's still aging like wine. The wine keeps getting redder and redder in each year. And for Zootopia 2, there's actually more to the city that we haven't explored yet. In the upcoming movie, it's going to be about Nick and Judy going on a case involving a reptile named Gary, and they're on a trail to find this character. You gotta keep in mind, we only saw mammals in the first movie. We never seen other animals like birds, reptiles, or even apes. Even how should an animated joke about that? So when you add a different animal like a reptilian snake, lizard, or whatever, you actually want to know how exactly are they going to approach this. We don't know for certain who this new character is because Nick and Judy don't know who Gary is yet. How does he adapt his life in Zootopia? How does he behave? Is he living his life normally in this upcoming movie? Is someone framing him? We don't have all the answers yet. That's why Nick and Judy had to look before they leap to anything. And since we are introducing reptiles in Zootopia 2, maybe we'll actually see some of the biomes they actually live in. And there's still some other areas in Zootopia that we haven't explored yet, like the desert. And I think it goes without saying, but I think they should bring back the message from the first movie. Let me explain. Some sequels do tend to bring back the message from the predecessor, and there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. Take Spider-Verse for instance. It's the best example on reusing a message. In the original movie, it explains that anyone can wear the Spider Mask, anyone can become Spider-Man. And in the sequel, Across the Spider-Verse, it brings back the message, but they add extra layers to it, answering the one question, how does one wear the mask? What defines some people like Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy as spider heroes? And the result made Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse as one of the best anime sequels of all time. There's actually a lot more layers to the first Zootopia's message that we haven't explored yet, only a few sprinkles of it. It's not just mean a person who's completely different, but they can also talk about gender identities and relationships. What will they do when they encounter a reptilian character? Will they accept them as a citizen of Zootopia? And crazy enough, What will happen if two different animals decide to fall in love with each other, and how will everyone react to that? The last part involving relationship could possibly happen to some characters like Nick and Judy, or if that doesn't happen, they can still do it to some of the sequel characters. The possibilities are just endless to both Zootopia's world building and its powerful message. Try everything. The SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants. Yep, there's actually 2 SpongeBob movies announced in 2025 or so, and it gives a good time as any that The Search for SquarePants is considered the 4th installment of the SpongeBob movie. Despite Saving Bikini Bottom the Sand Cheek movie becoming the 4th SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants is the 4th installment to the main SpongeBob movies, not the spin-off movies. As of right now, we don't have all the details yet about this upcoming SpongeBob movie. All that we know is that SpongeBob's going on a journey and involves the Flying Dutchman, which he actually doesn't appear in the other 3 SpongeBob movies, which I guess that is pretty cool. But I'm still not sure about this upcoming SpongeBob movie. If you look back at some of the past movies, every time they bring out a SpongeBob sequel, it keeps going down and down. The first movie was great, the second movie was pretty good, the third one was meh, while Saving Bikini Bottom the Sand Cheek movie was really bad and they done dirty with our favorite gal. If I do want to help this movie or add some suggestions, I say this movie should be a new original adventure. Don't turn it into a repeat of the other SpongeBob movies or episodes. Number 2, stop sending SpongeBob and his friends to the surface world. We're pretty much done with that. Let's take a break from mid. And number 3, and this is possibly important, let's add in a lot of development to the Flying Dutchman. Let's learn more about him. How did he die? What was his life like before he became a ghost? All that we know from him is that he loves to scare people, and his prized treasure is a sock. I'm not 100% sure if these suggestions will really happen. It's basically the nautical nonsense I wish it could happen. So let's just wait and see. And there you have it. Those are my initial thoughts on the upcoming anime movies of 2025. What do you think of these upcoming movies? Are you excited about them? Which ones are you excited about the most? Well, feel free to leave in the comments below, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe me for a new review and other project. I'm Matt Patrick, and I'll see you all for the rest of 2025.